What we need to do now is come together and commit to real action and real change. Future generations of kids are depending on us. They are begging for action, and we are going to deliver that. So today I want to announce what our commitments are. First off, while Mr. Trudeau caved to the fossil fuel industry, we are committing to ending fossil fuel subsidies once and for all. He bought a pipeline for $4.5 billion. What a betrayal of our future. Instead, what we would do is invest in the future. And these are our three commitments today that I want to highlight. First off, we want to electrify all public transit by 2030. This is a massive investment in public transit, and we know that transportation is one of the leading sources of greenhouse gas emission. This is an investment in our future. By electrifying transportation, we create jobs. Here in Winnipeg, with New Flyer, one of the leading companies building electric buses, this will create jobs in communities, this will create opportunities, and this will also fight the climate crisis. Secondly, we want to establish a climate bank. This climate bank would create a bold initiative to support businesses that are fighting the climate crisis, but also create funds so that we can connect an energy corridor east-west that is based on electric and clean energy. That's connecting Manitoba's source of energy with those provinces that need it. That's a way to connect the clean energy across this country, whether we're talking about hydro energy in Quebec or here in Manitoba, with those jurisdictions that don't have it. This is a bold way forward for us to electrify our country and to get off our reliance on burning carbon. This is a commitment that we make. And finally, today I want to talk about our commitment to including Indigenous voices and representation in being a part of the solution. While Indigenous communities face the hardship of climate change on the ground, on the front lines, their voices are completely ignored. So what we're committing to today is that we would, as a new democratic government, ensure that Indigenous communities have a seat at the table as equal partners in the fight against the climate crisis. We also want to make sure that Indigenous communities have an equal voice in equal decision-making in ensuring that there's job creation and training opportunities. We also know that when we talk about Indigenous communities, that they're faced with horrible conditions when it comes to basic human rights. And that's why, as a part of our moral and legal obligation, we are committing to addressing the crises, which include water, making sure every community has access to clean drinking water, education, Indigenous child welfare, housing. These are commitments that we would make to deal with the crises as equal partners working with Indigenous communities to solve these crises.